Yeah, we right back on top of things. Doom, 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 doom. Yo, Ego Army back up in it. Ego Mafia, we are the mob. Notification Squad, gang gang, West Side. I told you I was gonna be right back. It took a little longer, but I decided to do another video. You know, we break the stories first, right here on Boxingego. Now we're gonna talk about it. Got a little snack, little Pringles to tide me over while I do these live streams. The American dream. Yeah, no. I'm starving right now. Please forgive me. Yeah. I told you. I told you what was next. Wilder riding off the momentum of that crazy knockout. What up, though? Can y'all see the stream all right?
2 moments. Thank you. And now,
I'm eating Pringles. I need Pringles to sponsor me. Listen, they got 800,000 views. They don't have these Pringles in Glasgow. These are hella good. I normally get sour cream and cheddar, but this is the pizza flavor. Man. Man, these chips are good as fuck, sorry. I'm starving though. Man, they take forever to notify people of the stream. How did you guys know I was live streaming? Just put a quick comment. I'm just curious. How do you guys find out? Like right now, how'd you know I was streaming? Notification gang. See? See, this is all notification gang then. See, we need to get on that front page. Hit the like button so we get on that front page. So everyone else knows we're streaming. Gang, gang, hit the like button. The more likes we get, the more we get it cracking. Yeah, no. Oh, man. Y'all want to do a roll call? Do we have enough people for a roll call? Or y'all want to just get into it? Because I'm ready to go, man. I guess the people will come after. We have way more people in the live stream. I like almond joy. Some people don't like it. Usually people that don't like coconut. If you like coconut, almond joys are good. not even a big chocolate fan. New media takeover. Try to tell y'all. Yeah, these I'm enjoy it, man. Like I said, if you don't like or you're allergic to coconut, you're not gonna like it. Who's seen the latest Deontay Wilder call out? Yes or no? Did you see Deontay Wilder's call out from today? Yes or no? No? Who still needs to see the call out? Put me. M-E. If you still need to see the call out, say me. Alright, I'm gonna show y'all. Some people haven't seen it. Alright. Say when. Say when. Somebody say when.
Anthony Joshua, you know I'm coming for you. Ain't no need of talking about next year, then the next year after that, or 2020. 2018 is what you should be worried about. You said if the people want it, then you want it. Well, the people want it. Do you? Or do y'all have some hidden agendas? Are y'all hiding anything? We're on it. We're on it. So either fight or shut up. Your promoter that talks so much. He said you'll knock me out in 3 rounds. Let's see it. Or is you going against your promoter now? I'm ready to dethrone you. I will be heavyweight champion of the world. I will defeat you. Are you up for the challenge?
I'm just gonna loop it.
Anthony Joshua, you know I'm coming for you. Ain't no need of talking about next year, then the next year after that, or 2020. 2018 is what you should be worried about. You said if the people want it, then you want it. Well, the people want it. Do you? Or do y'all have some hidden agendas? Are y'all hiding anything? We're on it. We're on it. So either fight or shut up. Your promoter that talks so much. He said you'll knock me out in 3 rounds. Let's see it. Or is you going against your promoter now? I'm ready to dethrone you. I will be heavyweight champion of the world. I will defeat you. Are you up for the challenge?
One last time, people.
Anthony Joshua, you know I'm coming for you.
I'm a hype man.
Ain't no need of talking about next year, then the next year after that, or 2020.
Talk to him.
2018 is what you should be worried about.
18.
You said if the people want it,
If they want it.
then you want it. Well, the people want it.
Ooh.
Do you?
He said,
Or
do you,
y'all
y'all?
have some hidden agendas? Are y'all hiding anything?
Hiding.
We're on it.
I see you.
We're on
You
it.
a flashlight cop. I
So
see
either
you.
Fight or shut up.
He told you to shut up. He said, be
Promoter
quiet.
talks so much. He said you'll knock me out in
What
3
did Eddie
rounds.
Hurd say?
Let's see it.
Okay.
Or is you going against your promoter now?
You going against her, huh?
I'm ready to dethrone you.
Ooh,
I will be heavyweight champion of
He
the world.
will, even though he already
I
has a
will
belt.
defeat you.
Oh, he gonna
Are
defeat
you
you.
up for the challenge?
Huh. Well, I could be a hype man, yo. That's what Don King was doing. Did Bermay talk to him? He's with that little ass flag. Take your time. Like, bro, if you don't sit down with that 1990s bedazzled USA jacket, you better stop with that airbrush shit. Man, Wilder's at his throat. Wilder's at his throat. Listen, you gotta do something, baby. Irv make it hot, nigga. Like 50 Cent said, you gotta do something, baby. I mean, this dude's like relentless. The call out, he's kind of relentless with the call out. Like, that's crazy. Man, what y'all think? But like, what don't y'all like about Wilder? If someone who doesn't like Wilder, what do you? It's not even like a hot seat unless you start saying stupid shit. But what don't you like about Wilder? For those that don't like him. That's what I want to know. Like, what do you want more or less of? What is like? What isn't he doing? I already talked about that. Listen. Yeah. See, new media is fucking you boys up. Y'all can't even help it either. Y'all can't even help it. And I'm gonna make sure I beat a dead horse, because I'm an Aries and that's just what we like to do. You know what I mean? I said, what don't you like about Wilder? Some fool in the comments said windmills. Right? You don't like him because the windmill punches. We just talked about this. Okay, there's your windmill. Right? There's your windmill punch. But this is the effect of it. Look at the ref. Stop, Wilder, no! What are you doing, dude? Hey, dude. Hey, Wilder, dude. What are you doing with the windmill, dude? Look at the result of the wind. Like what? This dude clapping and shit. Like, who cares if he's throwing windmills, but this is the result? Wilder, dude, what are you doing, dude? It's not worth it. Chill, son. Look, he's by Wilder's pelvis. Pause. Why is that? This don't even look like. If you went into a hotel room and seen two guys like that, you'd be like, what the fuck? What is this? But in the boxing, you already know what's going on from the picture. Y'all keep talking about this wind. Look at this. So, I don't like him because of windmills, but the windmills are doing this to people. Like, that sounds like I said, y'all say the same cliche shit. New media gonna clean all this up. You talk, I don't like him because of windmill. Look at this. And see, for me, I like Wilder and Joshua. I really do. Whether you want to believe it or not, I don't really give a shit. But I like both of them. But the thing is, you guys keep talking about windmills. Look at them. And my thing is this, like, I think I'm a realistic boxing fan, right? So my thing is this. I really feel Wilder has, Joshua has better overall technique than Wilder. You know what I mean? Crisp, authoritative punches, more of what you would learn in a classroom setting if you took a boxing class. But Carlos Takam, who's 6'1.5", which is shorter than me and shorter than a lot of these super heavyweights, he was still standing when he got counted out, and he was slipping punches when he got counted out or TKO'd or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So again, that sounds stupid to me when people say, oh, I don't like Wilder because of windmill, but his punches, nobody's withstanding, and now including Bermane Stiverne. Bermane Stiverne, before he rematched, he could say, you know what? he could say I was the only man to go the distance. But now that's no longer a talking point. Stavern can no longer say I can't never get knocked out and I went the distance with him, because Stavern kind of got it worse than past. You know what I mean? A lot of guys. I mean, even Spilka got it bad, but it took a couple rounds. Stavern got that in the first round. You know what I mean? So again, these talking points sound very stupid to me. Like, oh, I hate him because he's Windmill Wilder. But the end result is destructive and catastrophic, and nobody's withstanding the windmill. So, I mean, I'm from the old school. Get it how you live it. Look, Windmill Wilder, Spilka. Windmill Wilder, Spilka. When Spilka fought Brian Jennings, he got stopped, but he didn't look like that. I watched the fight. So, I mean, if it's just windmills or whatever you guys are saying, like, Wilder said it best. He said if I'm not the best and the most feared, I want someone to prove me wrong. They're gonna have to prove that to me. Old school Southern type of attitude. Like, okay, I'm not the dude. Shut me up. That's basically what he said. Come shut me up. If I'm not who you say I am, come shut me up. That's classic gladiator shit. So it's like the talking points sound more like fear to me from the fans. Because again, if you want to, everyone, all this windmill shit. But look, this is what's happening. This is what happened. This is what's happening to guys. So it's like, look at Eric Molina. Look at Wilder smiling. Look at Eric Molina and look at Windmill Wilder. Look at Jack Reese. He looked mad. Like, why you do him like that? You know what I'm saying? And you could say, yeah, Joshua knocked out Molina quicker, which is true, but he also fought the version that had been knocked out by Wilder. Some guys don't recover from brutal knockouts that bad. Again, look at Spilka, crucified on the canvas, like he's nailed to the canvas. So it's like, all that windmill shit sounds stupid to me. Because, like, again, nobody's denying Joshua's talent. Nobody's calling Joshua names or a bum or whatever. But the thing is, you have to find a way to get past the windmills, or whatever you guys want to call it. Look at Wilder, and look at how this man is landing. Like, look at his head. He looks like Smeagol from The Lord of the Rings. Like, literally, look how he's falling. Like, that doesn't look like a normal, natural way to fall for a grown-ass heavyweight. That's how you could tell when someone has pull. Look at how they fall. Look at how he's falling. Look at Spilka, how he fell. Look at how Bermain Stavern is falling. And Wilder up here dancing and shit. So, look at the crowd. Look at the crowd. He's like, oh, shit. So, it's clear to me Wilder has power, real life power, right? So, to me, that's how I look at it. Windmill Wilder, but Spilka was in a stretcher down when he left. Bermain Stavern obviously didn't go to the post-fight presser or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? So what is it? Like honestly, people keep saying the windmill stuff, but Joshua has better technique, but I haven't seen his knockouts quite as destructive. He has power for sure. He clearly has power, but I haven't seen his knockouts look like that. And see, people keep shitting on Wilder's resume or whatever, but name somebody that got done in like Stavern that Joshua has knocked out that you would rank up there with Stavern. That's a great question, since people are shitting on his resume. Name someone who got done up, like I'm talking about knocked out in that fashion knocked out in that fashion that you would say is the equivalent level of fighter as Stavern. Because like I said, everyone keeps shitting on and talking about how Wilder's resume is suspect. So name a fighter that Joshua has knocked out brutally like that you would say is either Stavern or better. Because even the Klitschko knockout wasn't like that. Klitschko got fucked up with that uppercut. Disgusting. Mwah. Beautiful. But Klitschko was on his feet, if I'm not mistaken, and he's 41 years old. He was standing up and it got waved. You know what I mean? I had no problem with the stoppage. Don't get it twisted. I mean, he was getting hurt in there. But name somebody that's Stavern. Listen to. Are you guys listening? Name someone that's Stavern level or higher that Joshua has blasted out, like knocked out in the fashion that Wilder just did Stavern. Since people always talk about Wilder's resume. Is anyone going to answer the question? Or are we just going to sit here in silence? Charles Martin didn't get knocked out like that. And Charles Martin is not a Stavern, at least from what he's accomplished. At the time he fought Joshua, he's definitely not. Stavern was a champion who proved his champion grit by beating Chris Arreola twice. You know what I mean? Charles Martin fought Glasgow, who's very undersized for heavyweight, right? And he hadn't really proved what he was. He was just more or less, he was kind of a prospect who got a shot at a vacant belt. So once again, I'm going to ask again, since everybody seems to be mimes all of a sudden. Everyone shits on Wilder's resume, right? They shit on his resume. Name someone who's at least the Stavern level or greater level, like a Klitschko, that you would say Joshua has spilled him like that. Like how Stavern got done up. I'm really trying to think. Because I'm not talking about them first 12 fights because I don't even know who some of those guys were. You know what I'm saying? So I can't even think of someone that Joshua, like the Dillian White. I'm not saying, see, a knockout's a knockout. A win is a win. A victory is a victory. So I'm not critiquing that aspect. If you TKO him, you KO him. You know what I mean? Like Floyd hasn't had a knockout other than Conor McGregor in a while. So I understand. But I'm just talking about, if we're talking about powerhouse heavyweights and windmills and really analyzing this shit, Joshua has better technique, but I can't think of someone who's Stavern level or higher that he's knocked out like that. Dillian White was not knocked out like Stavern was knocked out, or Spilka. He simply wasn't. And if I had the rights to play it, then I would play the clip. But Dillian White didn't get knocked out like that. I watched the fight. What are you talking about? No, the Dillian White KO. Like, and again, I'm not saying Klitschko or Dillian White weren't hurt. They clearly were. But they weren't knockouts like that. You know what I mean? Even the Spilka. Like, Spilka got flattened. Name somebody that Joshua knocked out like that you would say is a Spilka. Like, to me, I would say Dominic Brazil is kind of on the same, like, echelon of a Spilka. But when Joshua fought Brazil, he was pulverizing him and beating him up, and Brazil was just super tough. You know what I mean? Dillian White was out? Are you serious? Hold on, I'm about to watch it right now. I can't show y'all because I'm just to refresh my memory, because I don't remember all that. I don't remember him being out like y'all are making it seem like. Dillian White got hurt, but I don't remember him being out. And anyway, what has Dillian White done that you would say is on a Bermain Stavern level? Has Dillian White been a champion? Okay, so this is Dillian White. On flashback to me. Hey, actually, Dillian White did get kind of fucked up right there. Now I'm looking at it. That uppercut was nasty. Damn, I'll give whoever said that. I'll give you that. Because he didn't even, I thought he tried. I don't know, for some reason I kind of remember him trying to get up or whatever, but he stayed down and the ref came. So that was a very good knockout. I give him that. But I mean, to be honest, back to my initial point, Dillian White, how can you say he's proven so much more than Bermane Stiverne? Has Dillian White been a champion? Like, not a British level, I'm talking about a world champion. Somebody answer that for me. Has Dillian White been a world champion? Somebody explain that to me. Fuck no. So then that's what I'm saying. So that was a good knockout, but that's still, see, this is how people try to escape the hot seat and stuff. I didn't put that person in the hot seat, but listen, this is how people, I ask a question and then they answered a fraction of the question, which turns out Dillian White, once I just watched it back, that was a good knockout, a very good knockout. For some reason, I remember him trying to get up and like the ref was just like, no. That's why I thought it went. But I just watched it. It was a very good knockout. But the other part of the question, which that doesn't apply to, is when was Dillian White like a world champion? I said someone who's Bermane Stiverne, proven to be a Bermane Stiverne level. Not saying he can't be a world champion or something. I'm just saying what he's proven. Especially at the time he fought Anthony Joshua, he wasn't like, he hadn't proven that. Now he's fought Joshua, he's fought Robert Helenas, he's fought Derek Chisora. So if he became a champion later, then that's, you know what I mean, he's learning on the job and stuff. But at the time he fought Joshua, it was a good fight because it was a domestic rivalry, really based on the amateurs. But he was nowhere near. Bermane Stiverne carries a lot of experience because he was a world champion and he had defended his world champion and he had already fought Deontay Wilder. Dillian White hasn't been a world champion, right? And he wasn't even a boxer for the first part of his career. So that doesn't even fully answer my question. So once again, I'm gonna ask it for the last time. Name somebody that Joshua knocked out, like Stiverne and Spilka got knocked out, that you would say is definitely at their level or higher. At a Stiverne level or a Spilka level or higher. Since everyone's shitting on Wilder's resume. Nobody, no one, anyone else? I mean, see, and this is the thing. I don't care. I don't always have to be right. I really can't think of nobody. So if you guys can, feel free to share. I can. So, listen, we're going to pick up where we left off. Floyd made Conor eat your words. Your next response, make sure it's a calculated one. Because now it sounds like you're trying to challenge me. And I'm all about these challenges. I've been catching bodies all day. You're saying, what are you attempting to prove about Wilder? I'm not attempting to prove anything. I am proving everything I just said, I already proved it. So if you can't keep up, make sure your next response is good because you might end up in that hot seat. Floyd made Conor eat his words. That is to you. You mean, what are you attempting to prove? I'm not attempting to do. I prove what I prove. And again, if someone disagree, not even close, bro. I've been on Team Bomber all day, bro. Wow. Then why are you saying, what are you attempting to prove? I'm not attempting to prove anything. I proved my point. I asked a question, and then I asked somebody in the audience to name somebody. So my question, once again, in case you missed it, or you're watching TV or something, name somebody that Anthony Joshua has knocked out that is a Bermane Stiverne level or higher. Like, he's a greater fighter, he's done more, he's accomplished more, been a world champion, and he's better than world. And name someone he's knocked out, like Wilder knocked out Bermane Stiverne. That's my question. I'm asking you, and again, my thing is this: it's not even about being right or wrong. I'm asking if somebody can tell me, because I'll research it right now. If there is somebody, then I want to know. Cause I don't think Charles Martin got knocked out like that. But anyway, to correlate all this together, the reason we're comparing the impact of knockouts, because normally I don't care how, if you win unanimous decision, if you win split decision, if you know what I'm saying, if you winning is winning, TKO, KO. But the reason I'm like nitpicking or analyzing is because I said, what don't you like about Wilder? And someone in the comments says he windmills. He throws windmills. So that's why I started in-depth analyzing the knockouts. So my thing again is, who would you rather be? Would you rather fight the guy that's windmilling you, that's destroying your life? Do you know what I'm saying? And then like these guys are getting knocked out crazy. Like this, what's the guy, Sergey Likovich? He literally had a seizure on the ground and was like shaking. Spilka, he looked dead. Wilder even said, I think I killed him for 2 to 3 seconds, right? Romain Stavern was slumped up looking like the Annabelle doll. So my thing is, that to me, as a boxing fan, that's not really a good reason to not like someone when Wilder, from what I've seen, and I just asked people, see, this is the thing. I asked you to name somebody, because you guys want to compare resume, I asked you to name somebody that's equivalent to those guys that he's knocking out like that. Because I'm sure Wilder might have knocked out somebody way worse that had a record of 6, 8, and 12 or something like that. So we're not talking about those types of knockouts. We're talking about names we've heard of. You know what I mean? Like Romain Stavern, Spilka, stuff like that. And I'm saying, put it in perspective. Name someone who's at a Spilka, Romain Stavern level, Johan Duhaupas level that Joshua has fought and knocked out that brutally. And then someone said Dillian White, but to me, I don't know that Dillian White would have beat Johan Duhaupas. Johan Duhaupas knocked out Robert Helenius. Robert Helenius hurt Dillian White, but then went on to lose. And that was after Helenius got knocked out by Johan Duhaupas. I don't know that Carlos Takam would beat Romain Stavern. So that's why I'm comparing the dynamics of the different knockouts. Because if you don't like someone because they're windmilling, but they're putting on more explosive KOs, Joshua does have better. And see, that's the thing. I've already admitted Joshua has better technique. He does. I really think he does. But at the same time, he has better technique. Wilder has the windmill technique, or whatever you guys want to call it, but his knockouts look a lot more crazy. He fought this tall black dude. It was like one of the first Wilder fights I seen, and how Wilder did him, I was like, what the fuck? Like the dude just got knocked out crazy. It was on HBO or something when Heyman had fighters on HBO, and it was one of the first fights I seen with Wilder. I'm like, god damn. Tiny might want the hot seat. He says you can't use a triangle theory. First of all, you got to know what a triangle theory was. I never compared a mutual opponent because Wilder and Joshua, I can't even think of a mutual opponent that they even have. So where's this triangle theory, dummy? How did I do a triangle theory if I didn't even compare how so-and-so beat this guy versus this when they don't even have a mutual opponent that I can think of? So explain that triangle theory. He said you can't use a triangle theory. How did I use a triangle theory? When did Joshua fight Chris Arreola? When did Joshua fight Chris Arreola, someone said. And anyway, Eric Molina, I didn't even think of him. Yeah, he's a mutual opponent. But I never used Eric Molina. I didn't even talk about Eric Molina knockout in comparison to how Joshua knocked him out. So what are you talking about? Someone said, see, y'all, some of y'all don't know boxing. You're talking about Chris Arreola. When did Joshua fight Chris Arreola? When did Joshua fight Helenius and Duhaupas and White? What are you talking about? Y'all don't know boxing. What are you talking about? He didn't even fight them guys. Anyway, my thing is that's a silly reason to hate a heavyweight when no one's found an answer for it. Point blank. Period. That's the whole point. You hate him because he's throwing windmills, but he's winning more. His knockouts are more like crazy. So like, listen. If you were a heavyweight, you're telling me you would rather be Bermane Stiverne in that rematch than Carlos Takam versus Joshua? Honestly, really answer in your heart of all hearts. Put Takam or Stiverne. Who would you rather be? Who would you rather be? Anthony Joshua versus Takam, or would you rather be Wilder versus Stiverne in the Wilder 2 fight? You would rather be Takam. Takam held his own. Takam. Exactly. I mean, it goes without saying. This is like elementary school stuff. If anybody says they'd rather be Stiverne in the rematch than to be Carlos Takam, who has a questionable stoppage, versus Stiverne, then you're suicidal, because that means you're ready to meet your maker. If you would rather beat Stiverne, you're going through depression, and we got numbers for that. There's phone numbers and people you can reach out to, but I can't imagine anyone saying they would want to be Stiverne. They would rather be Stiverne in the rematch than to be Carlos Takam. I just can't see it. Shout out to Greece. Would you rather be Dominique Breazeale or Arthur Szpilka? Would you rather be Dominique Breazeale versus AJ, or would you rather be Szpilka? Look, everyone's saying Breazeale. And, I mean, don't get it twisted. Breazeale looked like the Fly. His eye was fucked up versus Joshua. But Szpilka looked dead. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, to me, it's just like people recycling what they've heard people say. Windmill Wilder. Okay, we get it. He throws windmills. But unless you have an answer for that, like you shot a short uppercut up the middle and you knock him out, then if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Keep doing it. Keep doing what people have no answer for. It's common sense. Why, as a fighter, why would you change it up? Hold on one second. And see, I'm gonna ask a request from all of you guys, and we're gonna just go through it. Let me know when you guys are ready so I can show you what I'm talking about. Are y'all ready? I have a simple request from real boxing fans. Let me know when you guys are ready. Okay, Derek's ready. Anybody else ready? Tony's ready. Who else is ready? Floyd ready. DJ ready. Leon's ready. Daryl's ready. Daryl's ready. King Petey's ready. Robert, David, Jamar. Okay, so it sounds like enough people are ready. My request is very simple. Be a boxing fan. If you're a boxing fan, you go to boxing videos, you go to fights, be a real boxing fan. None of that stupid shit. I'm gonna show y'all, I'm gonna let you into my world. I'm gonna show you some comments. And you tell me if these sound like pure boxing fans or it sound like they have an agenda, right? So the man Charles Higginbotham says, Anthony Joshua makes more money in one fight than Wilder has made in 38 fights. Wilder, a joke. So new media. Shout out to Jamie Romero, $2 super chat, Shmoney Gang. Does that sound like a true boxing fan? Your comment is Joshua makes more money in one fight than Wilder's made in 38 fights. Now, one, I don't know the facts behind that. I don't know the logistics. But another thing I do know is I don't care. I don't care if Joshua, he probably made 20 to 40 million or something versus Klitschko. But what does that have to do with boxing? Listen, if we're playing by the rules like that, if those are new rules, then why are people like Charles Higginbotham, why are they even mentioning Dillian White for champion Wilder? Because I'm certain that Wilder has made more money in this game being a champion and being signed with Al Heyman than Dillian White has made. So why are they pushing that fight? Do you guys get what I'm saying? How can you push? Okay, so listen, if this is all predicated on a food chain, and Joshua, he's the top, you know what I'm saying, as far as heavyweights, great promoter, he's coming from a region that backs him, and he's selling out these venues and stuff, cool, so he's up here. But Wilder is still above guys too, you know what I mean, even though if he's not above Wilder or Joshua, he's still above guys. He's made more money than Dillian White has made. I'm pretty sure because he's a champion and he's with PBC, right? So why is Dillian White even being mentioned with Wilder if this is all based on the amount of money you've made? You know what I mean? Because see, this is the thing with the totem pole. Yes, Joshua is at the top of the totem pole, but Wilder is still above the totem pole when it comes to some other heavyweights, right? And I think he would be at the top of the totem pole then over Dillian White, and if we're talking about how much money they make. But me as a boxing fan, I don't really care. I don't care how much money Joshua makes or Wilder, because they're not giving me any of the money. What is that? How is that my business? Do you know what I'm saying? So that's my request for boxing fans, is new media style. Read these comments, destroy them. You guys can carry on basically the hot seat in these boxing comment sections, not just my videos, but definitely on my videos because I want to read about it. But you guys can basically carry the tradition. And if you see comments like that you know don't make no damn sense, challenge these people, make them feel dumb. You know what I mean? No one should take them serious at this point. Shout out to Tiny for the $5 super chat. Like, we got to stand up as real boxing fans. He's talking about AJ makes more money in one fight than Wilder has made in 38 fights. Even if that's true, which I don't know if it's true. I don't know how much money he's made in 38 fights or early in his career. And neither does he. You think Charles Higginbotham is Deontay Wilder's auditor, where he has his books and shit? So he don't even know how much money Wilder's made. But even if what he said was true, what does that have to do with fighting? So we could never see... Listen, once again, you all want me to show you an easy new media tactic that you can easily employ against stupid shit like that? This is how I do so good in the hot seat. Because when people say stupid shit like that, then Joshua needs to go to the moon and fight himself. What I mean by that is there's nobody in the heavyweight division that is making more money than him right now, especially with Klitschko retiring, right? So then there's no opponent, using that logic, no opponent is suitable for Joshua, because nobody could say they're selling out. Shannon Briggs, David Haye, he can't sell them. The fucking Joshua Klitschko sold 90,000. David Haye can't even say like, oh, I've sold out 90,000, because the only other fight that came close to that was the George Groves Carl Froch fight. You get me? So so using that logic, if it's just all about pay scales and bullshit like that, then Joshua can't fight nobody, because he's superior in the money making department than all of these guys, right? He's selling out more states, 70, 90,000. He's making more money. So why is that an excuse for him not to fight Wilder? But Brazil can get the fight. Charles Martin can get the fight. Eric Molina, after being knocked out by Wilder, could get the fight. Gary Cornish could get the fight. How many 90,000 venues did Gary Cornish sell? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how you, it's an easy new media tactic. Don't buy that bullshit. Because again, Joshua's on his own plane when it comes to earnings in this sport, which is good. Great, shout out to him. He's marketed right. He looks the part, all that. But to use that as a catalyst, say Wilder's a joke and Wilder doesn't deserve to fight because Joshua makes more money. Really? That's what we're doing as boxing fans? Let me continue. Hold on. I know we got some more stupid shit. All right, let's see. Jon Snow left me a comment, king of the comments. Jesus, you still bitching about this fight? Meaning Wilder or Joshua. So me talking about the fight, this is what they do. Me talking about the fight is me bitching. So because I want to see a good fight, I'm bitching. I'm a bitch, or I'm bitching. I'm sensitive and all this extra shit. Jesus, you still bitching about the fight? How's this bitching? Because I want to see a good fight? Didn't like I said, question the integrity of the boxing fans and what they say. Hold people accountable. That's the new mission that I'm trying to, at least on my channel, that I'm trying to push. Hold people accountable. How can you say you're a boxing fan, but because I want to see Wilder Joshua thing, that's a bad thing? You talking about I'm bitching? Like as if I'm just like complaining about something. But see, that's what they do. That's what like racists do that, right? Racists do that where they'll say like, oh, you keep bitching about race. You keep bitching about double standards. So you're not disproving the double standards. You're not disproving that there's racism in the sport. The only thing you're doing is saying that the person is bitching. But you're not really addressing the problem. You're not even denying the problem. You know what I'm saying? That's how we kill these dudes, man. What else is there? Space Cat, Bronze Bummer. Like, do you believe these comments anymore? It's looking bad, man. And like I said, I know some of these guys are from the UK because I could tell by their vernacular and stuff. Y'all gotta get some better representatives, some real boxing fans, because all that Bronze Bummer shit, then that's more reason to make the fight and make it now. Deontay Wilder's repeatedly doing these call-outs. So if he's the bum squad, he can't fight nobody, he can't beat nobody, he hasn't fought no one real, then why don't you want to see it? You know, it reminds me of I travel a lot for this boxing shit because I'm an entrepreneur, right? Own my own business, right? It reminds me, I got in this guy's Uber. It was actually a Lyft. I've been taking Lyft more than Uber lately. I don't know, but anyway, I got a Lyft rideshare, right? And it was in Vegas. It was a Cuban dude. The dude was real cool, and he was just telling me how he defected from Cuba and how he learned English. Real stand-up dude, real cool dude. But he told me a little sidebar story. I was like, oh, I said, so you learn in Vegas? Because he was from Miami. The Cuban dude had moved from Miami. So I said, how you like in Vegas? You probably know your way around. And I said, we were just shooting the breeze. Anyway, so the dude told me, I was like, so that's cool. You make some good money, blah, 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 right? Who the fuck is Cornelius? I don't know what you're talking about. Anyway, so the Lyft driver, I was like, you probably make some cool money. And he was like, yeah, guess what happened, bro? And I said, what? And he told me that there's a couple of girls that were in Vegas and they needed to get to LA, right? And he says there was like 3 of them. He had a big SUV. He said that the 3 girls wanted to get to LA for whatever reason, but they didn't want to go through the Lyft app because it would have been, I mean, that's you're going from Vegas to LA, which is a manageable drive, but the way Uber's rates are and stuff, right? The way Uber's right, it would have been ridiculously priced to go that far through Uber. So they cut him a deal under the table. That's what he was telling me. And they came up with like $650 or whatever it was, right? For him to take, just so you guys know, I know a lot of you guys aren't from the West Coast. I'm from the West Coast. To get to Vegas, or to drive from Vegas to LA, right? It's 4.5 hours, 4.5 hours, right? They came up with $650 cash, put the money in hand to not go through the Uber app, and for him to take the 3 girls to LA where they needed to go. It's about 4 hours, yeah, right? So guess what the dude did? He did it. He was like, fuck that. That's, you know what I mean? I got a family that, like, I've been driving earlier today. It's still early in the day. And he made the trip, round trip, from Vegas to LA back to Vegas, right? Because he got $600 off top just for one ride. So that, you know how many regular Lyft rides he would have to do to get $600 in a day, right? So my thing is this, the reason I said that, I brought that up, is to him, the way he looked at that, that was easy money. You know what I mean? Yes, it's a longer drive, but would you rather do a bunch of like in town to the strip, $5 here, $5 here, $10 here, you know what I mean, around town type of shit, and then all of those little trips might add up to less than that? Or would you rather do one big straight shot, right? And then you just made all that money, $650. You know what I mean? So the bottom line is, what person is not down for the easy work? You know what I mean? He knew in one day he can make more than he would make in town. Because, listen, I'm in Vegas all the time. I was even in Vegas when they had the shooting. You guys that follow me know that. If you get around, I literally get around from casino to casino and shit on the strip. I literally get around for $4 or $5. About $4 or $5. Sometimes it's maybe $8, but it's really not. It's really not too expensive. So he could do all those little knick-knack trips and stuff. But guess what? He did that one straight shot. Took them 3 girls to LA. Made the 8-hour round trip, and then he came up good off of that one. And then the next day you can go back to regular in-town lifts. So that's my point, is who's gonna, you guys keep calling Wilder a bum and saying he ain't fought no one, then that's easy work. You'll get it. It's an easy way to get a belt. It's an easy way to get recognition, because you could say, I knocked out Wilder, no one else has done that. And if he's easy to knock out, then do it. Period. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't understand it. If you know something is to be easy, why wouldn't you do it? Just like that Lyft driver. He knew he could make easy money. The girls were down. So he did it. Period. Oh, okay. Jack Ledger's nominated for the hot seat. I gotta burn another one. Let's burn someone. For all my smokers, we about to burn another one. Jack Ledge says, who has Deontay Wilder fight? Who has Deontay Wilder fought? Oh, let me think. Stavern. Oh my gosh, Wilder is TBE. First of all, no one said Wilder was TBE, so you sound stupid, right? Second of all, you said who has he fought? Who has he attempted to fight? Who has he attempted to fight and then they failed drug tests? Not even attempted. He signed the fights with those people. Come on, Jack. You about to get jacked. It's a full-time Jack move, man. Jack Ledger, we about to put you on the ledge and push your ass off. You in the hot seat, my friend. We about to smoke. Roll one up. We about to Mary Jane you. I ain't talking Spider-Man. Where he at? Vladimir at age 41, for we all know, is better than Wilder ever will be. Doesn't answer my question. You burned one response, you got 2 more. Let's push Jack off the ledge, man. He ducking the question. What is Klitschko? He's retired. What does he have to do with anything? Attempted isn't fighting ya munter. 2 responses. I don't even know what a munter is. You got 1 more. Applejacks. Jack getting jacked out here. See, I'm from Cali. They really do jackings out here. You will get jacked. Hey, he said pass that shit to left. Hey, y'all want to smoke? Y'all want to smoke this Jack? Damn, this Jack hitting. This sativa. This Jack. Hold on, y'all want some of this Jack? Y'all want some of this Jack, man. This is that Jack Ledger. We about to. We about to push Jack off the ledge with this one. You got one response, Jack. Make it count, Jack. Where you at, Jack? We gonna burn your ass up in the hot seat, Jack. Come on, Cracker Jack. We about to get our prize out this motherfucker. They already giving you the L. Y'all wanna vote? Okay. Ego Hats is right here. Where Jack at, man? And Amazon just shipped my latest stuff. Man, we working. I got something coming from Amazon. We about to get it cracking. Where's Jack? Oh, y'all already voted? L. One of my moderators, Jack Ledger, he just jumped off the edge. We all smoking that Jack. We smoking that Jack. Get Jack up out of here. Do I have any mods in the building? Or do I gotta find Jack? At your mom's house, lad. See, you clearly from the UK with that lad shit. That's why you mad. You mad. Tell him why you mad, Jack. I could already tell. You fucking wank. Fuck your mum. Like, you say, like, shit we don't say here. Bye-bye, Jack. Thank you, Terrell. See, they can't coexist with me, man. In this hot seat. They just can't. There's always some dumb shit. Fuck your mum and all that. What does that have to do with that? And they know if they talk to people like this in reality, they would get Bermain Staverned. You know what I'm saying? The fuck? You bellend. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You chats bollocks and bellends and okay. I do all that. But you still getting fried up in this hot seat, fried to a fricassee. That's all I care about. I'll be a bellend and a dongle and all this dillweed or whatever the fuck names y'all want to call me, but you still ain't making it out of this hot seat. Oh man. Listen, I still haven't figured that out. Who doesn't want to see this fight? Like, you're a boxing fan. Why? I don't understand. Why? What makes you not want to see it? Shout out to Jamie Romero, another $2 shmoney gang, Ego Army, man. We working. We working, people. We working. Super chat, we working. I still gotta hit Rigondown back, man. No, I'm not a girl. I'm not doing that No Shave November. I'm growing the beard out longer, but I'm gonna go get it touched up this week. I mean, I think it's a great fight. I want to meet Joshua. He seems like a cool cat. But I mean, this is business. I want to see. I mean, he's a fighter. He chose this as a profession. I didn't choose this for him. He's in a deadly sport. You know what I'm saying? He's a champion. Why would I? But see, the thing is this with me. A lot of people are sensitive and Tyrese's. Let's just call them Tyrese's. So there's a lot of Tyrese's in the comment section. Don't take my baby. Like, you know what I'm saying? A lot of Tyrese's in the comment section. And the thing is, haven't y'all noticed a pattern with me? I want to see all the great fights. I'll give anybody $500 PayPal cash right now. Right the fuck right now. Right? If you show me a video where I told you that Canelo versus Golovkin shouldn't happen, it just needs to wait, it needs to marinate, fuck the fight. When did I ever say that? When did I ever say Ward Kovalev the first time before they fought shouldn't happen? Or the second time? When have I ever said Wilder Joshua shouldn't fight? When have I said Errol Spence Keith Thurman shouldn't fight? Never. Never gonna get it, never gonna. Like, I've never done that. So that's what I'm saying. I consistently want to see good fight. I want to see all the motherfuckers at featherweight fight. Gary Russell fight Jojo Diaz. Gary Russell fight Abner Mares, Leo Santa Cruz. Those are all great fights. Oscar Valdez. I want to see all them dudes fight. But it's only the people who are scared, who are like rocking with the fighter or whatever, they're the ones that don't want to see it. Like, why would you not want to see Gary Russell Jr. versus Leo Santa Cruz? Like, I don't understand it. Unless, let's say you're from LA and you're just a diehard Leo Santa Cruz fan and you know that Gary Russell could possibly beat him because he beat him in the amateurs. So maybe you don't want to see it, but us true boxing fans, we want to see that. Robert Garcia, Boxing Academy all day fan. Mikey Garcia over every fucking body. I mean, we'll see. I don't know if he beats Terrence Crawford, but Mikey Garcia is skilled as hell. So I like to see Mike. I think I would favor him to beat Jorge Linares. I think he's just overall tougher, but he has to box right because Linares can scrap, can box. But Linares was in there with the gold medalist Nate Campbell, and he was losing some of the middle rounds. So yeah, I would favor Mikey in that Jorge Linares if that does happen. Yeah, I don't see Mikey beating Crawford because see, this it's kind of like the Postal fight when you got guys, two guys who box well. Listen to me. See, I'm trying to break down boxing how I see it. I look at it like this. If you got two guys who box well and have a good grasp of the basics, then the person with the extra additives is usually the one that's going to prevail. And what I mean by extra additives is if like Terrence Crawford versus Victor Postal, both of them motherfuckers can box. Postal had a height advantage. He can box, but his boxing he's a Ukraine boxer. His boxing is more up and down. So since they both can box, they both know the fundamentals of boxing, jab, you know what I'm saying? They both have that. The separation is Crawford, his processing, his speed, his athleticism is higher than Postal. And I think that's like the difference maker in a lot of situations in boxing, because that gives you a little bit, you guys can both box, but the person who has speed and can box, that gives you an extra advantage, right? The guy who's very athletic in boxes. Same thing with Joshua Klitschko. They both can box. They both have technique. They both had a jab, but Joshua had the youth on his side. Joshua had, I would say, probably more speed than Klitschko. You know what I mean? And things like that. And a lot of the Ukraine, Eastern European fighters and stuff, they don't throw certain punches as much. Hooks, uppercuts. Like, when's the last time you seen Kovalev shooting hella uppercuts? When have you ever seen Kovalev just shoot the uppercut? And really what fucked Klitschko up in that 11th round was Joshua's uppercut. Beautiful uppercut. Beautiful. But when do you see Kovalev throw an uppercut? And especially land it. You know what I'm saying? Not just throw it, but throw it and land it as an effective punch. So to me, the guys, when two guys are like, it actually the same applies for brawlers too. When two guys can brawl, it's usually what I've seen for the most part. If two guys are power punching brawlers and they fight each other, it's the guy who can make adjustments a little bit better. It's the guy who can box a little bit better as a brawler. That's the person that usually wins. Like Lucas Matisse versus Ruslan Provodnikov. They both have crazy power and they both are tough, like, you know what I mean, can brawl a bit, but Matisse is clearly the better boxer, and that's why he was able to win that fight, because that's what happened. Usually when you have two brawlers, no one's trying to brawl all night, so the person who has more boxing skill and overall fundamental skill show a little bit of more separation and pull away usually. So that's how I kind of see it. When two people do basically the same thing, it's up to little subtleties, like who has more athleticism, who has more speed, better punch variety and combinations, and you know what I mean, youth on their side. That's what I see, by and large. But it's boxing, anything happens. So sometimes it doesn't. There's no rule, like one rule that's in place and it always works. What else y'all want to talk about, people? Garcia Haney, it ain't gonna happen soon. I don't see it. It's a good fight, but Haney just fought not a big name in Atlanta or wherever. Garcia's still not fighting. You know what I mean? Both of them are actually my dudes. Ryan Garcia, he just fought in Arizona. But there's still, like, those... Listen, those situations are different. Shout out to Angelo Taylor, $2 super chat. Shmoney gang. Those situations are different. You don't want to ruin your fighter. Like Antoine Douglas. Where's Antoine Douglas really been ever since he got knocked out? You know what I mean? They put him in there with an older guy who's stronger like bull, right? And he got knocked out, and he's not really... Where's he really been since then? Has anyone seen Antoine Douglas's recent fight? I don't know if he came back. I don't know who he's fought, if he did come back. I don't really know much about where his career went after that. And I'm not being funny, I'm not being facetious. I'm really asking, when was Antoine Douglas's last fight? This is a perfect example. When was Antoine Douglas's last fight? Does anybody know off the top? I know some of you guys are Googling. See, someone said, let me check. See, people, like, if I ask you when the Charlo brothers last fought, then you would know. Nobody knows exactly. He fought this year. I didn't even know that. Who'd he fight? Where was it? What card was it? You know what I'm saying? So that's the thing. You don't want to rush these guys. Like guys like especially Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia. Yes, that's a rematch from the amateurs, and Ryan Garcia beat Devin Haney sometimes. I think Devin Haney might have had a couple wins, but Garcia had more. But the collision, see, that's not like Wilder Joshua. Wilder Joshua is ready-made now. They're both champions. When you're champions, the training wheels are off. You know what I mean? Just like Errol Spence, like hunting down all these people. He's a champion now. That's what you're supposed to do. Training wheels are off. He's coming for Keith Thurman, a guy who's been a champion longer than him. How does that work? You know what I mean? But with the Ryan Garcias and Devin Haney, that could be a very big future fight. But you got to build up your fighter the right way. Get him on the job. That's why Devin Haney's fighting in Mexico sometimes, staying active, things like that. There's no reason to rush them dudes because they're super young. You know what I mean? And see, now we're talking about the business side. And I tell you, I understand business. I run my own business, right? And I do all right for myself. But if we're talking about letting it marinate, that's a fight. Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney, that is a fight that can marinate. Because if they keep doing what they're doing, their names are going to get bigger, and more people are going to find out that they fought as amateurs and had an amateur rivalry or whatever you want to call it. And then the demand for that is going to be bigger, and the money will get bigger. Wilder Joshua is not the same. Like I said, they're both champions. Both have been champions. Both have multiple title defenses. Joshua has a gold medal. Wilder has a bronze medal. Wilder knocked out the only guy that survived his onslaught. Joshua knocked out a Klitschko who hadn't been knocked out. He lost, but hadn't been knocked out in like 9 years. So that's the difference. I think they fought 5 times, and I think Ryan Garcia might have won 3, and Devin won 2. But don't quote me on that. I think it was something like that. So whoever just asked that, that's my thoughts on Devin Haney versus Ryan Garcia. That's a fight you can build up. But these guys are so young. Let them get some experience under their wing. You don't just throw them in there and then one person has to take an early career loss when it doesn't need to. Because same thing with Erickson Lubin. Erickson Lubin, people, literally, boxing is crucial. Boxing is crucial. Some people say he needs to retire. Like, hold on. I'm not even trying to laugh because it's fucked up. Listen, Lubin is like 19, just turned 20 or 22 or some shit like that. He's very young, and he lost 1 time in the first round. And some people are like, retire, you're done, get the fuck out, you'll never come back. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy. So if you think about it, like in hindsight, maybe he should have like, I really think Lubin, I understand mandatories and stuff, but they should have readied him for that moment. Show you could beat Vanes Martirosyan, Willie Nelson. Who else is at 54? James Kirkland. Can you imagine that? I seen the super chat. I'll get to it, but I'm in the middle of thought, and it's hard because I have to keep stopping. So I'm not hating on the super chats. Y'all can keep sending them. But Lubin versus James Kirkland. That, to me, that would be a bomb fight. Now, I mean, I don't know about now, but I'm saying before he fought Charlo. I would love to see that. Fight Austin Trout. He's a veteran. That would be a real good fight. And then that'll gauge where you're at. But it didn't work like that. He thought he was ready and whatever. Angelo Taylor, another $2 super chat. He said, donating to the channel. I love the content. Well, thank you, Angelo. I really appreciate it. We got a lot more coming. I'm about to get this new computer, and it's really about to be on the cracking. Not for my desktop, because my desktop I replaced earlier in the year, and I love it. It's another iMac. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know I be Apple shoddy, man. So yeah, we about to get a new lappy toppy. James Kirkland lost last week. Oh, you said I just seen James Kirkland last week. Oh, I was about to say I didn't even know he fought. I read that totally wrong. See, y'all clowning Bermain Stabern. Man. Y'all want to know a secret? I wanted to talk about this too. Remember I told y'all new media was coming. And remember I told you, listen, I always say this. Yo, can we get to 100 likes? If you're in the stream and you appreciate the content and the boxing talk, hit the like button. Because it's just been stuck at that same number. And it should be constantly going up. See, I know I have to kind of remind y'all, but we should be at triple digits. They mad I'm spinning. Yes. Hit the like button. And I'm going to let y'all know a secret, man. And make sure, moderators, make sure you just periodically say, hit the like button, everyone. People are reading the chats and people are here. I know, I can tell. I see the engagement. But the moderators don't feel afraid to remind the crowd, because this is how we really kill new media. The more people see this shit, the bigger Ego Army gets, the stronger we get, the more coverage I'll get. The more everything, more. That's what it's all about. More. And that's what I'm trying to get to, next level. I always set goals and I try to crush them. So this is my next goal, to just do more of the same, provide you with more. Because like right now I'm at a point where it gets harder and harder. The bigger you get, the harder it gets to manage everything. You know what I mean? There's been a couple of times, like Roman Chocolatito versus Sor Rungvisai. I had already done the Boxingego first look, but I never got around to doing the audio. And then before I knew it, the fight was coming around. So I was like, fuck. So I never even I put one out for the first fight, but not the second. So I'm trying to work on the organization, get people to help and stuff like that. So the engagement is important. But check this out. Remember what I said to you guys. Listen to what people say then and listen to what people say now. And this, I told you guys, I've said the same thing. And now I'm saying it even more boldly and more confident because I really feel this. I told you Joshua Wilder should happen in 2018. I think it needs to happen. 2, I told you that all these excuses being made about why it shouldn't. Do you guys realize that everything that could go wrong, if you're on the side of like agreeing with what Eddie Hearn is doing to let the fight marinate and Dillian White and all this other extra shit, if you were on that side and you were hoping the fight didn't happen, hoping that Deontay Wilder lost to Bermain Stabern, everything that happened at that Barclays on Saturday is your worst nightmare. It's your worst nightmare. What I mean by that is the way things have played out has been the worst possible outcome. If y'all want to know what I mean by that, I want to get a hell yeah. Can I get a hell yeah? Put hell yeah in the comments, and then I'll elaborate my thoughts. If y'all want to know what I mean, give me a hell yeah. Robert said hell yeah. The Slick said hell yeah. Gerald Scott. Orgy. Who is that? J-Dog said it. Floyd Mayweather. Okay, enough. We got enough. Jeffrey. Okay, we got enough people. Now, this is why it's the worst possible outcome. Because if you were praying, first of all, Wilder didn't lose. That's the main thing. Wilder didn't lose to Bermane Stiverne. And I know Eddie Hearn, okay, like let's say Wilder lost or looked suspect in the fight. You know what I mean? Then you could be like, oh, and this guy wanted to fight Joshua? Are you serious? Look at him, he got knocked down by Stiverne, or look at him, he lost to Stiverne. So obviously that wouldn't have been good, right? But it was quite the opposite. Not only did Wilder not lose, he looked like a Super Saiyan winning. You know what I mean? He's standing like the Predator, and Stiverne talked a good game, came up short, 3 knockdowns, brutal knockout, things like that. So that's pretty much, aside from killing Stiverne, that's the most emphatic way to win, by knockout and by early knockout. I mean, what more was he gonna knock him out in the locker room? Like, what more could he have done? Knocked him out, jumped him in the ring walk, and knocked him out? I mean, he did it pretty much the most, just like Charlo versus Lubin. Charlo, he was like, I'm a champ. He said, I'm a paper champ. Okay, Lions only, keep running your mouth. And he knocked his dude out in the first round. He told you he wasn't on the level, didn't trash talk too much. Lubin was trash talking, and he got knocked out in the first round. You can't really hold people to a higher standard than that unless they kill them. Unless they kill their opponent or some shit. Or like blood or something super movie-like is coming out. You know what I mean? Or they're having a seizure or death. It just doesn't really get much more emphatic. So for the people who were hoping Wilder didn't look good or didn't look promising in this fight, then you were way wrong. 2, the attendance was good. The attendance was 11,000 for a substitute fight. I understand Joshua did 70,000, but that's in the UK. It's a whole different market. If Deontay Wilder was British and had an accent, and he was like, oh, you know, mate, bomb squad, you know what I'm saying? Then he would get the same love if he was from out there. You know what I mean? In this generation. So you can't compare the two. Because, you know what I mean? It's just different. In America, there's multiple sports boxing has to compete with. Boxing has to compete with the current NBA schedule, current NFL schedule, the World Series that just ended. You know what I mean? Different stuff like that. So everything like, oh yeah, and the other thing, the people who were pushing the Dillian White thing, Dillian White, his fight wasn't as exciting. He got hurt in the second round, and he didn't look, I wouldn't say he looked very impressive. That wasn't his best win. You know what I mean? He looked a bit stiffer and shit like that. So that's another thing. All the people pushing that, like I said, listen to what people say then and now. Now, those are multiple reasons to me why things didn't go as planned for the people who were hoping. Now, the other thing is it did good Showtime numbers. It peaked at almost 890,000. It was 887,000 people tuned into Showtime. Now, some people will be like, oh, that didn't even crack 1 million. 2 things you have to consider. 1, Showtime doesn't have as many subscribers as HBO. So for Showtime to get to that number, that 1 million number, right, it's harder because they have less subscribers. More importantly is in the same city, you had UFC 217 going on concurrently. Reason I know is because I was at the Barclays and I was trying to keep up with what was happening at the UFC on my phone while I'm watching the fights. You know what I mean? So 887,000 on the same night in New York while you're competing with the best UFC card that they've had in a minute, with the return of GSP and Michael Bisping for a title fight. You know what I mean? Joanna and who else was it? Cody Garbrandt, TJ Dillashaw, which was actually supposed to happen. They had a well-documented beef on that Tough show and just on the internet and shit. You know what I mean? That was just a big card. So to do 887,000 and see, everything, new media is fucking y'all boys up. Everything people were saying, it's not adding up. People said, oh, nobody wanted to see Wilder Stiverne too. But yet it did good ratings. And I mean, one could argue it wasn't a stretched out fight, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't a fight that lasted 8 rounds or something, so the viewership could have done, but that's because of Wilder doing it. He made it a quick night and got the maximum views real quick and handled business. So you can't blame him for doing that. Yeah, if the fight would have went 10, 11 rounds, maybe the viewership average would have been lower or something, but that's a what if. We don't see new media, we don't really go off of what ifs. We go off of the facts. So it's not looking good. And I told y'all for a minute, the walls are closing in. Joshua keeps getting called out by Wilder. Wilder looked better, in my opinion, in his last fight than Joshua did versus Takam, than Dillian White did versus Helenius. The attendance was cool. It was a late replacement. He took the only guy that went the distance with him and bodied that man and folded him up. Like Staverne's legs, Staverne was like, this was Staverne's legs and shit. Staverne's legs were like, yeah, I'm pretty flexible. Y'all didn't know that. Y'all didn't know how flexible I was. Pause. But that was crazy. I mean, you just got folded up. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it went viral. That's how, man, that was that yoga shit. That was that. See, y'all didn't know I was that flexible. That looked like some like Martin when he fought Tommy Hearns or some shit. Yeah, I'm tall, but I'm still. See, it was from watching Van Damme movies. I got real flexible. I was like teaching myself how to do splits. Bam! Oh, wham! That's that Van Damme, so y'all don't know about that. Listen, Takam is durable. He got stopped by Povetkin. I have no doubt in my mind that Wilder would have stopped him. Listen. Wilder showed a very educated, stiff jab. Right? He's way tall. He's like 6 inches taller. 5.5 inches taller than Takam. Takam's been stopped before. He did get dropped at least once versus Joshua. And Wilder's too damn aggressive. What is... Listen. And see, listen. This is my honest opinion. The way Joshua fights... The way Joshua fights is very good. Very textbook. Very clean punches. Methodical. And that's good. But that also, if you're a crafty, squirrely guy like a Takam, that actually suits him. Because he's like slower and he's like kind of big and top heavy, so he's a bit stiffer, right? More robotic. Wilder's athletic and doing crazy shit with a crazy wingspan. So to me, that Takam shit wouldn't be it wouldn't be as effective because I don't think Takam has the defense. I don't think he has the defense to deal with the length, the range, the athleticism, and the power of Wilder with them long ass arms. How is Takam gonna get on the inside against a guy who's 6'7"? How is he gonna get on the inside if Wilder's just pumping out that jab? And the funny thing is, I know how the boxing game works. If Wilder, let's say Kubrat Pulev fought Joshua, and then Wilder fought Takam instead of Bermane Staverne, do you know how many people would say Wilder just fights bums? They wouldn't give Takam no real peas and be like, oh man, that Wilder just beat Takam. They would have still called him a bum. But since he was linked to Joshua, now everyone wants to act like Takam's lost all his big fights. Solid dude, props to him. He's gonna make it interesting. But the fact is, he's lost his big fight. It's just like Miguel Mariaga. Miguel Mariaga's not a trash fighter, but he's lost his big fights. He fought Nicholas Walters, lost and got knocked down. Oscar Valdez, lost and got knocked down. Fought Vasil Lomachenko, lost. So, you know what I mean? There's a lot of good fighters like that, but every time they step up to the big name level, they lose. Takam is one of them. Name Takam's, who did he beat? Out of the biggest names he's fought, who did he beat? Exactly. All quiet on the Western Front, I see. Damn, y'all cold blood. Someone said Wilder got 800 ratings, 800,000. Joshua did 300,000. That's fucked up. I mean, you could add that, but the only difference is Wilder came on at prime time at night versus in the daytime versus the Joshua Takam. But I mean, either way, the Wilder was more impressive. That's why it went more viral. When people like, even actually when Joshua fought Klitschko, I seen a lot of non-boxing pages talking about it. When he just beat Takam, I didn't see anybody who was not boxing on Instagram or whatever talking about it. But when Wilder just spilled Bermain, people were talking about him. But Wilder, I think he's doing it right and just putting constant pressure. And we as boxing fans got to get back to that. Stop with this, how much money did he make? He didn't make enough money. Like, really? Yeah, almost 900,000 on the same night as GSP's return. And like I said, the stands are cool because I know you're gonna make a lot of money with ticket sales, but at the same time, it's just a different market. I mean, there's no other way to put it. The UK is not competing with the NBA, NFL, MLB, and all this other shit. You know what I mean? It's just not. You sound stupid. If you're gonna use a point that I made, use something I said. This dude, Swervy, says you can't compare Wilder Stavern to AJ Klitschko. It doesn't even come close. When did I ever compare them? What are you talking about? I never compared Klitschko Joshua. What are you talking about? Swervy making up shit. Like I said, if you gonna come for me, talk about shit I said. But yeah, man, this is the worst possible outcome, the way I seen it. Worst possible outcome, because it's like Wilder did good and people wanted him to do bad. Emphatic first round sensational knockout. It went, see, all that, like the other stuff. Oh, nobody knows Wilder. Well, shit, they might know him now because Haha Davis and the Breakfast Club and Shade Room, Baller Alert, all these popular 1 million+ pages are talking about him. So it's like, this didn't go your way. And that's what happens when you keep coming up with like crazy bullshit excuses. Listen, I'm not talking about Tyson Fury unless there's something in the news or he comes back. There's nothing to be said. He says he wants to lose weight. He says he's coming back in 18. Let me see it. Until then, I don't really care to talk about Tyson Fury unless like he says something in the news or whatever. But he's not a factor. Listen, how do you have all the belts, then do coke, then have to relinquish all your belts, disappear for 2 years where you gain a shit ton of weight, and then your voice sounds crazy? Has anyone noticed Tyson Fury's voice sounds like he has emphysema or something? Like his voice is like, hello all, I'm like, damn, what the fuck? Like what happened to his voice? Like, I don't even know what that comes from. He'd be like, Sinead O'Connor. Yeah, I'm like, damn, when did this shit get that raspy? Like, I don't know, I'm not even being funny. Like, I want to know what happened. I never remember him talking like that. That sound crazy. I don't know if he smoked cigarettes or what. Remember that commercial? The bitch had the hole in her throat and she was like, I started smoking when I was 12. They said it can't kill you. How could they say that? Like, what the fuck? I don't know, man. I don't even know what's up with Tyson Fury's voice, though. Has anyone heard that? He's like, hello, I weigh 90 stone. That shit sound crazy. He sound like the gypsy version of Jadakiss. I'm in the tires only if they Michigan. Put them out by the Lake Michigan. Tires if they Michelin. D-Block. Like, what the fuck happened to your voice? You signed a bad boy, motherfucker. The Locks. You did it, baby. 1.1 in a short week. Hell nah. Screw a press conference. Press this on your conscience. The fuck? That's how Tyson Fury sound now. We gonna handle this like grown men, you won't win. You don't even feel comfortable in your own skin. I rap my ass off. I'm fighting the champ with the glass jaw at the Garden of Nassau. Jada got that funny voice. There's no keys. What do you want me to do? Where you want me to turn it? So yeah, anyway, until Tyson get his voice fixed and actually lose the weight and has a fight on par, then there's not, what is there to talk about? Period. Nothing to talk about. And I want him to come back. I think it'll be great if he comes back. He's exciting, fun for the, well, more or less his build up and his demeanor. You don't give a fuck. I like that. I like that shit. Keep doing that, Tyson. Keep doing that. I don't give a fuck shit, because I don't give a fuck either. None of us give a fuck. So keep doing that. Come back healthy. But until then, there's nothing really else to talk about. And see, like, the other thing is, like, on the Boxing Voice podcast with Eddie Hearn, they asked him, hey, the Boxing Voice was on his head, though. The Boxing Voice, shout out to them. Shout out to TBV. They was on Eddie Hearn's line. And see, that was just a good job. But they asked him, they said, okay, we fight Dillian White. Why not guarantee Joshua? And then you hear, like, a pause with Eddie Hearn, and he was like, like, I just don't like doing that. It's sloppy. Ain't no fucking sloppy. Why? You know what I mean? What is sloppy? Listen. Behind the gloves in the building, yo, it's not sloppy. It's business if you make it. Like, okay, for example, and I know this personally, Andre Ward, the Boxing Voice has no chill. Shout out to Ness and them. Andre Ward, when he did that multi-fight contract with Michelle Joy Phelps, gets busy, man. She be hustling. She probably don't know me anymore because she on the World Boxing Super Series and all this and on TV. And actually, there's this dude. He's an animator. He did a funny one. I posted it today. He did about the Joshua Stavern fight. Now I'm not gonna stop. You a celebrity now, like even more so. Like we both. I'm like Insta famous and YouTube famous, but you on TV and shit. You got like hair and makeup and shit. I don't got that. So if I got a pimple, I just gotta have a pimple. But anyway, Michelle Joy Phelps was on this animator's cartoon, and it's funny as hell. See, I don't have people making cartoons about me at the moment. But anyway, back to what I was saying with this Wilder Joshua stuff is when Andre Ward moved up to 75, he made a deal with HBO. They said, okay, we want you to move up within 3 fights, fight Kovalev. And that's what was done. And everybody in the world knew it. Everybody knew that the grand prize was the Ward Kovalev Ward, because he was the champion. Kovalev Ward was the crescendo. That was the fight that everybody knew they could expect if both guys stayed in their winning ways. So to me, what Eddie Hearn, he said is sloppy. I don't really see that as being sloppy. How is that sloppy if Wilder successfully gets past Dillian White, which, you know, I mean, you can say Dillian White's tough. He only got stopped by AJ. Then what's wrong with putting that in the contract? So shout out to the Boxing Voice for that. I think they did a good job of asking questions that I think the fans would want. I don't see what's sloppy about that, because like that's like Ward saying, I'll move up to 75 and fight Sullivan Barrera, but I'm not gonna promise you Kovalev because that's sloppy. That's not how me and Rock Nation do business. You know what I mean? That's what HBO wanted. That's what they were willing to pay for, because HBO is a network, so they want that pot of gold at the end of the tunnel, and I think that's what Team Wilder wants. Behind the Glove says, do you think Wilder should fight White even though he's not his mandatory? I mean, I would, if I was negotiating, I think Wilder should try to somehow coax them into doing the guarantee for Joshua. But I mean, other than that, why fight Dillian White blindly? I guess that's my thing. Dillian White is solid, but I would much rather see Dillian White, Dominic Breazeale, or personally, I like Dillian White versus Gerald Big Baby Miller if he wins this week. If he wins this week, I think that's a great fight. That's what happens. You get two top kind of rated challengers, and they fight to face a champion. If there are no mandatory standing in their way, make the fight. Wilder, Joshua. Exactly. I mean, I agree. They just took care of their mandatory, so I don't see what mandatories they have left. Make the fight. And see, what I think in boxing is very simple. I don't think this is rocket science. So I feel like if you make the fights that matter when they matter, it's more good. Even though someone got to lose, there's going to be more good in it than anything else. Like Canelo versus Triple G, you can say whatever you want about the fight, but Canelo manned up, fought Triple G. They fought it out, duked it out, and that helped Canelo's stock get back because he at least squared up with Triple G, even though some people don't like the outcome of it. But no one's really dogging Canelo like they did when he vacated. So, I mean, win or lose for Wilder or Joshua, I think people would just be happy that they got to see it. I know I would. I don't care who wins. I mean, I like both of them. I like AJ and I like Wilder. I just want to see it. I don't like that Wilder has obstacles placed in front of him before the AJ fight. Yeah, I mean, it just, the thing is, to me, too, is like, if you have obstacles, that's one thing. But at least if there is going to be an obstacle, like a Dillian White, which there shouldn't be any obstacle. Errol Spence should be able to have a pretty clean-cut path to Keith Thurman, in my opinion. I don't think he should have to fight Luis Collazo to prove his worth to get a shot at Keith. I think they should. Keith Thurman, take your tune-up. Spence fight Peterson, and if they want to lock horns at the end of the year, it should happen. I think that's how boxing should work. I don't think two champions have more proving to do other than facing each other. So it's just weird that there's an additional obstacle. And see, the other thing is, why didn't Dominic Breazeale have to fight Dillian White to get an AJ shot? What did Dominic Breazeale do to get the AJ fight? That was a title defense. Joshua was the champion. Somebody please answer that question for me. Like, what did he do? Because as far as I'm concerned, when he fought Amir Mansour, Breazeale didn't even look good in that fight. And he's lucky that Mansour got his jaw broke or whatever happened because that fight got stopped. But what did Breazeale do in order to get he didn't sell out no stadiums. He's not no top earner on PBC. He's not doing crazy rate. He's not even main eventing. Every one of Breazeale's fights, and I've been to a couple of them, right? Every one, he's never been a main event that I've seen. Now you got a guy who is a main event like Wilder, and they're saying, oh, he has to up his profile, and there's more stuff he has to do, and he has to fight against Dillian White. I don't see that. You know what I mean? Because Breazeale didn't do that. No one said, oh, Breazeale never sold out a stadium. So, bottom line is this: good fights are good fights, and the fans can all recognize them. The fans see what they want, and ultimately, that's what it is. These roadblocks are usually because there's an investment to be protected on one side more so than the other. Like Team Triple G, I never got the inkling that they truly didn't want to fight Canelo, right? But at a time, it looked like Golden Boy, Oscar, Canelo didn't want to fight Triple G at a time. And then the pressure got so big. So I really think that's going to be the same thing with Wilder Joshua. It's going to be so much pressure that they're going to have to do it, just like Canelo Triple G. But I know that AJ is the bigger draw, yes, there's no denying that, but I say 60-40 to the winner, so there's no issues with the negotiation. Let the winner take the majority. That's fair, man. And see, like to me, honestly, and this is a person, I used to live in England, and I could show you pictures. I went to school out there, You know what I mean? I could show you that. I lived in England. It's a whole different language. Not literally. Well, actually, the way they spell and you chat shit, you chat bullocks and all that. Man, one time I watched a adult flick from an English one, and it was crazy. Never again. Don't watch English porn. She was like, oh, you want me to fucking wank it? You want a fucking wank it? I'm like, what the fuck is this? Yeah, I lived in England. Don't watch English porn, please. Because it sounds like they're, like, I don't know what type of porn y'all like, but it sounds like they're being too nice to each other. Like, oh, fuck yeah, what you think? You want me to fucking wank it? I'm like, what the fuck is this? Are they friends? Are they about to fuck? Like, what is this? Oh, yeah, you want to fucking wank it? And some of them British dudes, their teeth be like corroded like crazy. And be like, oh, yeah, you want to fucking wank? you want me to fucking wank it? Huh? Like, what is this? And then after he was like, Cheerio or some shit. I'm like, whoa. Never again. Back to US porn. But anyway, don't listen to that. Hey, Ego watches a bunch of porn. Like, y'all go throw my name in the mud. I know. Hey, Michelle Joy Phelps is a fool. She said, let's have some tea. Like, you want some tea and crumpets? Like, the whole language, like, it's different out there. Like for example, they don't say cookies. Like, Americans are just assholes. That's just what it is. The UK, it's like everything's like, it sounds good and fancy and like, you know what I mean? They have a double-decker bus and shit like that. We have fucking buses. That's just what it is. Or they have, like, if I want a cookie, I'll just say, I want a cookie. Give me Chips Ahoy, motherfucker. But in the UK, they call them biscuits. Like, Mom, could I have a biscuit? It makes my mouth water. It's got butter inside. Like, what the fuck is this? So anyway, England's different. So Joshua is lucky he's from a market that doesn't deal with it. Like, look at, like, we have issues like Donald Trump and like him saying things. He's the president. Some people don't like what he's saying. The Colin Kaepernick, we have race issues. The UK is not dealing with some of the same stuff that we're dealing with. You know what I mean? Where American champs don't get any level of respect in America, stuff like that. So Joshua's lucky that he's from a region that supports him no matter what. And the UK fans are lit. They show up, they turn out, they just, I mean, even when I covered Mayweather McGregor, the Irish fans were crazy. It was like a sea of Irish flags and stuff. They really get behind their people, you know what I mean, in different countries. But it's not like that necessarily. The unity is not the same in America, and that's what it is. But I guarantee you this, I promise you this, and Eddie Hearn knows this, but if Joshua were to come right now, let's say he fought, it could be a good fight. Let's say he fought Gerald Big Baby Miller in Texas or Vegas. I'm sure it'll do a cool crowd. I promise you it won't do 70,000. Not in America. Because Joshua's brand it's not been built to be a crossover brand yet. Like, he hasn't crossed over. You have to actually cross over. Like Pacquiao and stuff like that. Even Golovkin. Golovkin pretty much left Kazakhstan and started making his name here, fighting in America. Joshua hasn't fought in America, so people doing this whole A side, B side, but you got to understand, Joshua, he's not a crossover star yet. Like, I guarantee you, he's not going to do 70,000 in the AT&T Stadium versus Gerald Big Baby Miller in the States. So it's just a different setup in the U.S. from what I've seen. Because, like, Golovkin, he was doing good numbers, and I went to the Dominique Wade fight in the Forum. That did like 16,006. I went to his fight with Jacobs in New York at the Garden. That did probably about 19,000. So it's different. And like I always tell you guys, America, you have to compete with the World Series that just ended. Dodgers losing. Yes. I'm a San Francisco Giants fan. So NBA, NFL, it's just different. The States is different. So less main sports like that. They got football, boxing, cricket. who wins the World Boxing Super Series? I'm not sure, but I think Usyk. I think he's gonna win, maybe in his division. I think, and then I think Chris Eubank can do it. Eubank, I think he can beat George Groves. So it depends on what division, but those are the fights I'm probably looking forward to most: the cruiserweights and then the super middles. And I think Eubank, I would favor him. I think he's improved. So make sure you guys tune into the World Boxing Super Series. See, and that's kind of the same concept of like the best fighting the best. They really got top dogs, and they're having it like, that's kind of how the amateurs is. You go through one circuit, and you can see the little brackets, and you see who you place, and then one winner, and then this person goes in the semifinals, quarterfinals, or whatever. That's dope for boxing. So we need more of those. Like, I was a big fan of the Super Six, so this is in the same vein. So definitely support what's right for boxing. What else are y'all talking about? Ego, what's up with the IBO belt? And why don't you need it to be undisputed? I don't know. That's a good question. I think they just recognize the other belts as the main stake belts. And then as a result, that's all you need to be undisputed. But I think Crawford had the IBO belt when he became undisputed. Who's Goonies? I'm talking about the Goonies. I'm excited for Lomachenko-Rigondeaux though too. I think that's a good fight. Both guys sound confident. I haven't heard too much from Lomachenko though. He hasn't really been like that vocal from what I've seen. I think Luis Cuba gonna KO Danny. Great fight. You're not going to that one? That's surprising. Are you gonna be back in the States or are you still in UK? Damn, if Luis Cuba Arias KOs Danny Jacobs, that's crazy. Danny's ripped right now. I did a video about it earlier. Danny Jacobs is ripped right now. I'm favoring Jacobs, I think. I think coming off the heels of the, like, what, how do you say it? Okay, so a fight that was on the same card as Triple G Jacobs, Roman Chocolatito versus Sor Rungvisai. Even though people were saying the same thing. Oh yeah, that makes sense, Michelle. She said I need time off. I know. I tried telling them earlier in the stream. These people don't understand. They just look at the glamour and glitz, but this traveling stuff it's a lot. You know what I mean? If you like, and it seems like for me, I don't know if it's everybody, the media, but it seems like I have the most issues with my computer or this and that when I leave. Like when I'm at home and then I have access to everything, never have any issues, like internet issues. Damn, you got a fever? You tripping. I never have the issues with internet connectivity and this and that, computer storage filling up. And then when I go out of town, it's like, boom, everything happens. But a lot of good fights. Hey, Bellew too. I think I'm leaning towards Hay in that one. Damn, if Bellew wins again, that's horrible for David Hay. If Bellew beats him again, because that's a guy who's not even like a standard heavyweight beating you twice. Ego a beast for YouTube grinding. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, I heard some he'll retire. Yeah, I can imagine that easily. I heard some rumblings about Tyson Fury and Cannon Briggs. I don't know if they're like negotiating or whatever, but to be honest, I wouldn't mind that. Because Tyson Fury's been out since November 2015, so he has to come back and fight somebody. Briggs, he's going to be dangerous for the first 3-4 rounds because he has the most first knockouts in. Do you guys know that? Shannon, let's go, champ. Yeah, I say yeah. Shannon Briggs has the most first round knockouts, I think, in heavyweight history. So Mike Tyson, all them dudes, Lennox, all of them. He has more knockouts in the first round than all of them. So he has power. And see, this is the thing. Like I told you, this was one of the easy reasons why I was picking Wilder over Stiverne, is to fight at an elite level and deal with an immense puncher. There's some adjusting needed. And Deontay Wilder, very smart in what he did. He didn't give Stiverne any opportunity to knock off the cobwebs, to make sure the ring rust got worked out. He just went in there and pulverized him. You know what I mean? So it's like, that's what you're supposed to do. Don't give him a chance to you know what I mean, to shake off the cobwebs and make it to round 4 or 5 if you have the power to do it. So Tyson Fury is a better, like he's a good boxer, very good boxer, especially for his size. But Briggs has like very, very good equalizing power. So it could be interesting. I don't mind that fight. I really don't. Briggs has good body work too, yeah. And see, the biggest thing is boxing's about, for me, boxing's about timing. And Tyson being like gaining a lot of weight, I don't know how he's gonna come back. He gained too much. He's like 4,000 stone or whatever he weighs. He's just too big. So all of what you do in your off season in between fights could come back to haunt you versus a puncher. So it's a good fight. He's got to box smart, stay safe early, stuff like that. Because he did get dropped by Steve Cunningham, who's a cruiserweight. So this is my 2 cents. But back to, someone said Jacobs is getting KO'd by Luis Cuba Arias. I don't know. I would lean towards Jacobs, I believe. Because like I said, Sor Rungvisai and Chocolatito, even though that's the same thing like with Triple G, where some people had Jacobs winning, it was somewhat controversial. Sor Rungvisai, Chocolatito, he was like bloody. He was getting like bloodied. He got knocked down and stuff like that. Jacobs also got knocked down by Triple G, but he got knocked down by a guy we all know, and a guy who's received as the best middleweight. Sor Rungvisai kind of came out of nowhere. His biggest fight before the Chocolatito fight was against Carlos Cuadras, and he lost that fight, and he lost his title to him, the WBC title. So Rungvisai was more out of nowhere. Everybody knows who Triple G is. So to me, I don't think there's no love lost. I don't think Danny Jacobs is coming into the Cuba Arias fight with head down or head low, where he really feels like, you know what I mean? I guess it's easier, to me, from what I've seen, it feels like it's easier for Daniel Jacobs to get over his loss, because some people thought he won, he survived a knockdown, and that was really it, you know what I mean? So I think he's going to come in confident, in shape. He's already in shape right now. So Luis Cuba Arias, for me, I like him. I've interviewed him before. I just don't know that he's an amateur. He has an amateur pedigree, but I haven't seen anyone he's fought at the Jacobs level. Jacobs also has an amateur pedigree, been in there with Sean Porter, probably Demetrius Andrade and stuff as an amateur, Edwin Rodriguez. So I don't see Luis Arias as having the experience. Because like, you got to keep in mind, even if Jacobs gets hurt out there, if he were to get hurt, and that's the other thing, is I haven't seen Luis Cuba Arias hurt and knock out anybody on the Jacobs level. You know what I mean? So power is different when you start fighting better, more resourceful guys and stuff like that, veterans. Shout out to Javante Love. I told y'all them yellow and orange super chats, Schmuddy Gang, $10 super chat. He says, what's up with the champs holding their belts hostage and not fighting the best like Thurman, Joshua Horn, etc.? Great comment. From my perspective, it's the business like overtaking boxing. You know what I mean? I don't know for a fact in all of those situations that you named, I don't know that it's the fighter in everyone. Thurman might be the fighter. I'm just going to say that. I don't know, but I kind of get the feeling that Thurman is the one that, you know what I mean, doesn't necessarily want to fight Errol Spence. Jeff Horn, I don't know what he wants to do, but I think Top Rank and Duco Events, they're looking to extend his celebrity and, you know what I mean, sell out a couple quick 12,000 seats or some shit versus Gary Corcoran before they put him in there with like a Terrence Crawford. Because if he fights Crawford, I think he's losing. Just my opinion, just my thoughts. I think he'll lose to Terrence Crawford, even though Crawford, that would be his first fight at welterweight. So I think, honestly, I think that's the business. They're just looking to extend, even with Joshua. I think Eddie Hearn's kind of looking to extend the Joshua gravy train. Joshua's doing perfectly fine, making money, beating the level of competition and the guys that you put in front of him. The best, obviously, being Klitschko. A guy like Deontay Wilder can fuck up the money. Yeah, he can really disrupt some things if he were to beat Joshua, which we'd have to watch and see. But that's what it is. That's, to me, AJ versus Joseph Parker. Out of all out of all the heavyweight champions, I think Joseph Parker needs the most polishing. Therefore, I believe both other champions, there's 3 champions at heavyweight, Joshua, Wilder, and Parker. I think both beat Parker at this moment. I just haven't seen enough of Parker, what he can do. Like, you beat Andy Ruiz split decision. So, like, I don't know how you're gonna beat Wilder. How you gonna beat Parker? How you gonna beat AJ? That's what I think. So now it's just really a matter of who's the best out of Wilder and Joshua. That's why I don't really hear many people even throwing Joseph Parker in the, I'm not even trying to roast, you know what I mean? But I think it's kind of understood that Joseph Parker needs the most polishing, because people are not even really craving AJ versus Parker anymore. At one point they were. No one's really talking about Wilder fighting him. So I think it's kind of understood that most people believe that he wouldn't be the last man standing if he fought both AJ or Wilder. He does have a strap, so he's food, fair game. But I just think people already have it in their mind that he wouldn't beat them. That's just my opinion. But Luis Cuba Arias, like I said, props to him if he beats Danny Jacobs. That's a huge statement win. But another thing is, like, for Jacobs, he just did this Eddie Hearn deal, and that's different. That's a whole different demographic you might be able to encounter. Did this HBO deal. There's a whole different network and stuff that you're going back to. So I think he knows what's up at stake. And from talking to Jacobs, it sounds like he wants the big fights. He feels like he's earned his keep and stuff. Had a good showing with Golovkin. He wants the rematch with Golovkin. He wants Canelo. He wants Lemieux Saunders winner. So I don't know. I don't know if he's gonna let Luis Cuba Arias stand in the way of that. But we'll have to find out on HBO this Saturday. Yeah, the middleweight's popping now. For the first time in the last couple of years, it's popping. You got Jamal Charlo. I just interviewed him at the Wilder fight week, and he was saying, I'm the best. I feel I'm the best. You feel you the best. Let's settle it. That's his words exactly. Let's settle it. And I feel you, Charlo. Y'all can settle that, and I'll be right there, because there's a lot of quality. Like, imagine if David Lemieux beats Billy Joe Saunders and then fights Charlo. Imagine if Billy Joe Saunders beats David Lemieux after just beating Willie Monroe, and then he fights Jamal Charlo or Danny Jacobs. I mean, these are all good fights. These are all great fights. David Lemieux versus Jacobs. Jacobs versus Charlo. Charlo versus Saunders, coming off of those 2 performances. Saunders versus I mean, no matter what, these are all, it's like a round robin. And then you get to the top earners, Canelo and Triple G, throw them in the mix. It's just a lot of fun. You can do musical chairs with them. Round robin. Oh yeah, and Demetrius Boo Boo Andre just moved up there, so thank you guys for pointing that out. I forgot about that. He's up there now. So he's the wild card. And see, I really wish Demetrius Andrade, I'm not even trying to disrespect his promoter, but I wish he was signed with like maybe a bigger promoter, because the way he's been managed is it's really slow paced. And it's nothing to do with skill. It's nothing to do with anything, but I don't think he's making the money them other guys is making. Like, if you look at Lemieux's last paychecks, Saunders, if you look at the Charlos, you know what I mean? I think they're all out here eating and doing more. Here's the difference. Some people are like, why are you bringing up money now, ego? I don't care how much these guys make like that, but I'm just saying Demetrius Andrade is far too talented to be at the back of the bus type shit. You know what I mean? Where he should be making equal pay to the Jacobs and the Charlos, but I don't think he is. You know what I mean? How much money did Jacobs get to fight Triple G? And then tell me when's the last time Andre fought where you thought he was making anything close to that. So, a lot of good fights, though, at middleweight. Yeah, Luis Cuba Arias is seeing. This is the thing. I'm not saying he's going to be like the exact same as the Erickson Lubin outcome, but it's boxing. Anything can happen. But the thing is, it's. I really feel he's jumping up in class. Because Danny Jacobs coming off a Triple G loss, I don't think he really lost much in that fight because some people thought he won. I thought he won. Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. thought he won. Canelo thought he won, right? A lot of people. Peter Quill and I talked to him. So there's a lot of people. Joey Spencer, a lot of people thought that Jacobs pulled it off and did enough to pull it off. Deontay Wilder, Adrian Broner. Adrian Broner was like, I was like, who won? He was like, he said, oh man, you know AB. I was screaming, go DJ like Lil Wayne. So that's just it, you know what I mean? So I don't think Jacobs lost too much momentum, even in loss to Triple G. Now, I'm not saying Luis Cuba Arias is Erickson Lubin or the same level, but I'm just saying he's clearly taken a plunge up in talent. And it's a wild card. You never really know. Like, I mean, even Errol Spence, when he fought Kell Brook, I had faith that he would beat him. That's why I did the 7 reasons and picked him. But you never know until you actually get to see it. That's what we love about boxing. Cuba knows DJ got a suspect chin. I'm not really trying to hear that. Because, like, all this suspect chin stuff, why didn't Triple G knock him out? Triple G's was on a 23 consecutive knockout ratio. So why didn't one of the biggest top 3 punchers at middleweight knock him out? If it was that easy. You said it was going to be easy. Right? And to me, like I said, Luis Cuba Arias, I never seen him knock out someone as good as Danny Jacobs. And then the guy who's considered the best middleweight, Triple G, didn't knock him out. So, I mean, like I said, it's boxing. Anything's possible. But you're going to have to show me that. I want to see that. I got to see that. Because, like I said, the Triple G is, and it's not just about triangle theories, but I'm just saying, like, you have to base it off of something. And if Triple G, everyone keeps saying the suspect chin for Jacobs, but Triple G, he should have been a prime candidate to knock out Jacobs. So obviously Jacobs is resourceful and athletic and a veteran because he would have got knocked out. So, like I said, if Luis Cuba Arias can put it together, it remains to be seen. I know, but Boxing Ego, trust me, he can punch. I'm sure he can punch. But like I said, you gotta have to, if from what I've seen from both fighters, and I've interviewed both fighters, I respect both fighters. From what I've seen, I haven't seen Cuba Arias knock out somebody that's on the level of Jacobs. And then I just seen Jacobs in March, and I covered it, so I seen it live from New York, and there was a fucking blizzard that particular week. They even canceled the media workout because of the blizzard. But so I had a free day, and I seen the guy who's the top number one middleweight with killer power and had 23 knockouts in a row. He didn't even knock him out. So again, if Luis Cuba Arias in the same year is able to produce that, then I want to see it. I will be tuning in live on HBO to support Gerald Big Baby Miller and then watch the Jacobs Arias fight. Period. So you could say he can punch and he was signed to Floyd. I get that. He's a good fighter. But that was funny when he said you hitting that deck. He's like, who hit that deck? That part was funny. I enjoyed that press conference. And then Jacobs threw that shade. He said, I thought it was going to be a good like a chill press conference. You got Mr. Fruity Pebbles jacket on. That press conference was underrated. But anyway, like I said, shout out to the winner. I'm a boxing fan. Whoever wins, wins. I want to see it, though. I'm leaning towards Jacobs. That's my opinion. And I've been pretty good. I picked Wilder. I picked Porter over Granados. Let's go. Let's see. I'm about to get something to eat. Let's do a last roll call. I just like to know where you guys are from. Just let me know where you're from. City, state, zip. Drop that in the comment section. It's more than just he can punch. Curtis Stevens can punch too. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Peter Quillen can punch, and he got knocked out in the first round. And that's my dude. So I just talked to Quill just when I was in New York. But I mean, that's a fact. Quillen is a big puncher, and Jacobs beat him, has a win over him. So again, if Luis Cuba Arias could do what Quillen and Triple G couldn't, then that's cool. I just want to see it. Leesburg, Florida, 937, Cincinnati in the building. Where else? Where y'all at? Where y'all from? 614. Milwaukee, home of. See, that's why you saying all that stuff about Luis Cuba Arias. You from Milwaukee like he is. I see. I be peeping. You from Milwaukee and he's from Milwaukee. That's why you, trust me, he can punt. You probably in the gym with him right now and shit. Houston, Texas, Boston, Mass, H-Town, Sanford, Florida, London, LBC, New York, Dallas, Denver, 717, Uptown, Downtown, Yuba City, Utah. On the count of 3, I want everybody to say, get well soon, Michelle Joy Phelps. In case she's still in the stream, she's under the weather right now. She's been working hard with the World Boxing Super Series. She's in the UK watching UK porn. No, don't tell her I said that. But say get well, Michelle Joy Phelps, behind the glove. Shout out to them. We working. Funky Town, Garfield Park. I got Luis stopping DJ. Let me see it. Get well soon, behind the gloves. Get well soon, MJP. Get well, my Phelps. He said my Phelps. She don't know you. Do you know what will make Michelle better flange? I don't even know what y'all talking about at this point. Someone said, hey, fight fast. Oh my gosh, this is funny. We doing all these get well. I don't even know if she's in the stream anymore. They're like, get well. She's like, fuck y'all. Get well, Michelle. Get well soon, Michelle. Holla at me, baby. Jacob stops Arias. Get well soon. And I think she dipped. She dipped. Michelle is sexy. Y'all tripping. But yeah, it's been real. On to the next show. Thank you guys for the engagement. Hit me up. Wilder Joshua gotta happen. Good live tonight, Ego, peace. Man, I'm glad y'all enjoyed it. Stay tuned to the channel. We working. Hats coming soon. You know what I'm saying? You guys gotta get the little boxing ego on the side. You know what I mean? You want to look cool for the ladies. Michelle is fine. I want to make you mine. You can't have no lame pickups like that. I don't think Michelle. She's been around enough, like men in the gyms training and stuff, and I know someone probably got at her with that. So you can't really use them type. You so fine. I want to. Girls don't really like the pickup lines. Smooches to you, ego, handsome. Thank you if you're a girl, but if you're a dude, I'm not thanking you. I can't tell. I'm out. Let me know what y'all think. Holla at the kid. We fried a couple people in the hot seat earlier. You know how we do it. No Shave November. Peace out.